Hello and welcome. I am Tiana Brown. I am here with the wonderful ladies who work with Ronald McDonald House in Dayton, Ohio. And today we have Jenni Jent, who is the Program Experience Manager to my left. And after that we have Arias, Director of Community and Engagement. And then we have Rita Cyr, who is the Executive Director. And we have Teresa Engle, who is the Marketing and Communications Director. I'd like to say thank you so much, ladies, for joining us today to speak about this wonderful cause. And my first question today is, what is the mission of the Ronald McDonald House in Dayton, Ohio?
Okay, it's evolved over time. I'll start. And a lot of us know us as the home away from home. It's a very common tagline that people know us from. But we've evolved, and our current mission is to provide community, comfort, and hope to the families that have ill or hospitalized children in the area. So we want to make all of that available to our families. Our vision is to be able to say yes to every family who comes to seek our services. So that's a lofty goal for us right now, but we want to be able to say yes to every family that arrives at our door.
That's beautiful. Thank you. And then I also have another question. How does a family who needs services of the Ronald McDonald House apply and know that they are qualified to apply?
So I can take that one. We partner with 7 hospital partners, and they will send us a referral over that recommends the family to use our services. The family completes the top half of the form, the hospital completes the bottom portion. Just lets us know they're suitable for communal living, if there's any concerns or special things that we need to know about the family. There's also a background check form that they'll fill out. All of that will be faxed over, and we will look through their referral and see if we have a room available, as well as if the family meets all of our expectations.
Perfect. So once they are applied and they know that they are qualified, what can a family expect from the Ronald McDonald House when they first arrive?
So they'll come in the front doors. The first thing you see when you walk in our doors are our 2 giraffes, Kennedy and Coco. Kennedy is a 8-foot tall giraffe that has his own wardrobe and armoire. So he changes with the seasons. And if we have special events, we'll dress him up for Halloween or just any events that are going on in the house.
That's cute.
Amazing. There's a little waiting area, lobby area that they can come in. And we always try and have a smiling face at the front desk that they get to talk to when they come in. And we'll get copies of their driver's license. There's some forms to fill out. And then they go for a tour of the house. That way they know where they're going when they need things.
Perfect. So how long would the check-in process be for a family?
Depends on how many people are in their family needing things. Usually about 15 to 20 minutes.
Okay, perfect. That's not that long at all. And then, so what services are offered to the family that they can utilize during their stay?
We try and provide all the amenities of home, and we also try and provide them before the guests think that they need them. So everything from kitchen, we have 4 workstations, we provide hot meals for them that are all volunteer made. Then we have toothbrushes, laundry facilities, and activities for the kids, both on-premise and off-site.
Perfect. So you said activities for the kids. So would that be for like the younger siblings of the family? And what type of activities do you have offered?
They're all inclusive. They can include the patient, the parents, and the siblings, which makes it pretty amazing. We do everything from off-the-wall, kind of off-the-fly tea parties for the families or movie nights. Some of our community members are very gracious, and we get donated tickets to the Dragons games,
Ooh.
suites to Dayton Dragons games, or the UD Flyers we've gone to. So we organize the Ubers and go and take the families, and they get a meal and get to be out and about and forget about everything that's going on in their world.
Are the families able to come and go to the hospital as they please?
Yes, there's someone on staff 24 hours a day, but there's no curfew. So they come and go as they need to go to the hospital to meet their children's needs.
That is perfect. So what kind of security measures do you have to protect the families during their stay?
So we do have 24-hour on-site staffing. We also, everything is key fobbed in. So all of our doors are locked, and you cannot come in without a key fob or someone letting you in. And all of the guest rooms are also key fobbed just specifically for that room.
So I know that much of the assistance in the Ronald McDonald House is volunteers. How do you become a volunteer?
There are many ways to become a volunteer. We have both volunteer activities that are carried on daily inside of the Ronald McDonald House, or we have 2 sites called the Ronald McDonald Family Rooms. Those sites are inside of Miami Valley Hospital and Dayton Children's Hospital, and they provide the hospitality services that we have at the house, but it's within the hospital walls. And it was another way, just like Rita said, that we can say yes to every family who needs our services. We can't always say yes at the house, but in these locations inside of the hospital, it's a great way for parents to be able to stay bedside a little more, yet come and do laundry, take a shower, have a meal, have a snack, and relax.
That's awesome.
Yes, so we have volunteer positions both in the Ronald McDonald House and in the family rooms. It ranges from cleaning and organizing to bringing in ingredients and preparing a hot meal, to greeting guests and visitors from our front desk. So anything and everything that you might do in your own home up to, a group activity is within what we look for volunteers to help us with.
And how do you become a volunteer?
So on our website at rmhcdayton.org, it's our initials, Ronald McDonald House Charities, Dayton.org. There's a Get Involved tab, and you can kind of scan all of the options there. And there's different things to click on and to fill out or to call us. There's our email addresses, so we're very accessible.
Perfect.
Yeah.
How many hours, is there like an exceeded limit of hours that you can volunteer?
We've never run into many volunteers who would like to be there full time. A couple of hours up to, 2 or 3 days a week for a few hours is definitely within kind of what we've heard before.
So you did talk about the volunteers cooking. Do they also provide the food, or is everything provided by the?
So our hot meal program is really focused on the group, a family, an individual, a workplace group, bringing the ingredients in for whatever meal they would like to prepare for our guest families. And they serve about 30 to 35 people, and they get to dream up whatever meal that they think would be enjoyed by our guests.
That's perfect. So I understand that there are some talk about expansion and plans about that. Can one of you express and kind of divulge a little bit more information about where the future of Ronald McDonald House is going?
Yeah, so the vision that I shared early on probably gives you a pretty good idea that we are looking to grow. And we've actually been growing for our 42 years. We started off in a little 7-bedroom Victorian on Valley Street and pretty quickly grew. We opened in 1980, and then in 98 we moved into our current location, which doubled in size. So we currently are in a 14-bedroom guest house. But as early as 2007, we really knew we were turning families away at a pretty high clip, and we started paying attention to that. So we started paying attention to the families we were not able to serve. You know, Jenni talked about the check-in process, and there's nothing more heartbreaking than having to say, I'm sorry, we don't have a space for you. Right. And to be able to look at those 14 guest rooms and decide who needs those rooms the most. You know, so we have to look at the critical nature of the child. How far has the family traveled? So that's one of the hardest things that especially our guest services have to look at. So when we start turning families away, the board takes it very seriously. That's our mission. We want to be able to provide those services to the family. So we started looking at expansion again, and that's one of the reasons we went into the family room directions. So we were able to open the family rooms to provide more services, but we were still turning families away. So back in like 2018, 2019, we did an expansion study. So we looked at all of the partners. You know, I think it was Jenni who spoke to the 7 different partners that we currently serve. We started off with just Dayton Children's. Now we're serving the Shriners, Kettering, Premier, hopefully I do them all, Bridget's Path, 4 Paws for Ability, who am I missing? Proton Therapy. So all of these new partners that are now in the community, again, we needed more rooms. So we did a study in 2018, 2019, and saw that we definitely had the demand for a larger house. So the board approved those expansion studies. And in 2020, we did a feasibility study to say, what is the feasibility of us growing and expanding and raising the type of money that we need? And so the board was very bold and decided we're moving forward, that this is important to be able, at the time we were turning away about 50% of the families who were showing up at our door. When the Shriners came to town, our number went to 65%. So we were turning away more families than we were actually serving. So we are currently in the process of expanding. We have actually officially broken ground. We broke ground this summer, and it's pretty exciting and scary at the same time. So we've got a pretty lofty goal. We have a $29 million capital campaign that will allow us to build a 42 guest room house, which would be 3 floors. And because of the cost of that, we're looking at a phased campaign. So our first goal right now is $26 million, which will allow us to open a 21 guest room house. We'll need to shell out the 3rd floor of this building. And we're getting there. So we're sitting around about 22 million of the 26. But we still have about $4 million to raise. We're this close, but there's been some escalation in cost and things that a lot of the community is feeling, but it's definitely needed. And we are really hoping that with community support, that by 2024, we will be occupying our new home. So it's exciting, and thank you for helping us talk about our story.
Of course, thank you for being here and talking about this. This is very important to the community. And speaking of the community, you talked a little bit about that merger between the Children's Medical Center and Shriner. Would you say, how would that impact have been on the community?
So I can't officially speak for either of the organizations, but Dayton Children's and Shriners are 2 amazing, what we call mission partners. I probably wouldn't use the word merger. It's really more like a hospital within a hospital. So when we talk about our 2 partner hospitals, we talk about 2 freestanding hospitals across the street. So I think that they've kind of found the best of both worlds, where they can work together, and there's a lot of shared pieces. So the Shriners don't have to operate a cafeteria. There's I'm sure there's purchasing agreements and things like that, but it truly is 2 hospitals across the street, and it has changed who we are. Dayton Children's expansion and a lot of the specialties that they've brought to the community when the tower went up, that's definitely changed the house that we've become. I think Jenni spoke to the fact that it's not just the siblings that are staying in the house. The patients are actually staying with us now, and that's very true with the Shriners. So our Shriners families, they come, they tend to stay a little bit longer. They also are more what we call frequent flyers. So they come back regularly. We get to know them on a very different level. But I think that that has definitely been a win for the community. Having Shriners come up from Cincinnati, I think has really made Dayton a destination city for pediatric care. Between Dayton Children's and their new specialties and what Shriners has brought, it was definitely a win for the community. Now we need to catch up.
Oh, definitely. So please elaborate on the impact that Ronald McDonald House makes on the community as a part of the pediatric continuum of care.
So it kind of ties to, you know, back in the day, I've been at the Ronald House 21 years. When I first started, the primary families that we were serving were NICU moms and families. So it was, you know, there was the food, the coffee, the housing. I think we were thought of a little bit more as a, wouldn't it be nice? You know, the soft type things. But now, if we want families to choose Dayton and to come to Dayton and choose the specialists at Dayton Children's and at Shriners, they need a place to stay. So we are truly part of that continuum of care. A family cannot make the decision to come and utilize the services unless there is housing, affordable housing. And we don't charge any of our families for any of the amenities that our program staff have talked about today. So we're truly an essential part of that continuum of care. We're not just a wouldn't it be nice.
How would a family be able to reach the Ronald McDonald House if they had any more questions or wanted any more information?
Teresa could probably.
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways that people can contact us. We have our website, which Julie talked about. It's rmhcdayton.org. And we're on social media. So we're on LinkedIn, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram. RMHC Dayton, very easy to find. That's my job. So we're posting a lot, we're sharing our stories. And we really want our families to feel like they can go on our channels and share and speak out and make a difference. You know, their stories are what needs to be heard. Right. And it's great coming from them as well. You can also call us as well, but we have an awesome opportunity right now. Because of the expansion, we really want to get people to the house. We want them to see the hole in the backyard. You know, we want them to see the need of the families that we're bringing in. And so every other week, we're hosting on Fridays, we're hosting anybody who's willing to come in can come in for a breakfast. They'll get to meet with Rita and some of our other team. They'll hear about the update, what we're doing in the community, how they can get involved, anywhere from our pop tabs, which you see here, to volunteering, to signing a check over, you know, anything that they can do to help us in our mission, because our goal is to keep families close, and we can only do that when we continue to grow and expand.
So back to the pop tabs.
Yes.
What exactly do you use these for?
Julie?
Well, yeah. It's our way to say every gift counts. A pop tab is on the top of every can of soda or Red Bull.
Adult beverage.
Adult beverage, things that are fun to gather together and enjoy beverages. But children, school systems, churches, fraternities, sororities, Girl Scout troops, all of these gatherings and parts of our community are gathering pop tabs to bring us every day. We have a house-shaped box on our front porch. We are right across the street from Dayton Children's. So if you put a little container or a little box like this in your car and you're driving past, you can go into our circle driveway, get out of your car, and deposit your pop tabs in our little box. And it all gets gathered together and we recycle them. And then we utilize the funds from the recycling process to keep families close. And we have an event in May called Tabapalooza at the 2nd Street Market here in downtown Dayton. And it is a very fun event. We have First Street Recycling bring us an industrial-sized dumpster, and hundreds of pounds of tabs show up on that day from all over the region. So Wapakoneta Schools is a big one. Yeah. The universities bring tabs. So if you've ever wanted to see an ocean of tabs, please join us. Collect your tabs until May and come on the 21st.
Perfect. So pop tabs are just another little way to give back to the Dayton House of the Ronald McDonald House.
Right.
Are there any other ways that someone can donate rather than their time as a volunteer or their pop tabs? Are there any other little things throughout life that we can do to help out?
Yes,
There's
so
a great way. Oh, go ahead.
No.
You go ahead.
Well-
I was gonna talk about McDonald's.
Yeah.
Yes, go
Very
for it.
perfect.
So I'm sure everybody in this room has driven through the drive-thru at McDonald's, whether it's to get their morning coffee or a snack in the afternoon, whatever it is. People don't realize that there's a very easy way to get back to our house. Drive through the drive-thru and ask to round up for RMHC Dayton. It's you use your card. There's also the boxes. We have the donation boxes still. I'm sure anybody recognizes those as well. You can throw your change in there, but really roundup is the easiest way. Use your card, tell them you want to round up, and it's 20 cents, 40 cents, whatever that is. They round up to the next dollar. If everybody in our community rounded up, the impact is incredible. I mean, millions of dollars come to us, and it really doesn't impact that person all that much. You know, you think 20 cents a day, maybe once a month. That's, you know, I think there's a lot of people out there that can do that and not feel the impact of that 20 cents missing from their wallet. And it does so much for our house. It offers meals for our families. It helps with our expansion. There's just so many things that it can benefit our families and our house. And it's so easy to do, you know, anybody can do it. And McDonald's crews can ask, you know, as well. They can ask at the window, hey, do you want to round up? So we're working with McDonald's. They've been a partner since the very beginning.
Mission partner.
A mission partner. So we're working with them very closely to say, hey, ask, share the impact of what we do and how we're here for the community. It's important.
It's amazing. All right, so we got pop tabs. We can go to McDonald's and round up. There's also that beautiful event you spoke about. Are there any other events that may be coming up in the future that somebody can come and partake and volunteer or give to the cause?
Because we're really still coming out of COVID, and it's been a really challenging couple years, we've made some active decisions not to go back right now into some of those events because it's been so challenging, and there's been so many times where we've had groups of volunteers scale up the work for that just to be canceled. So we have maintained our annual radiothon, which is Mix 1077, has always been very good to us. I think we're in our 15th year. So that's every year, but that's not till the end of the year. But if a group or organization wanted to do a third-party event for us, so a run, a bowl-a-thon, there's all sorts of different activities. If people are willing to choose Ronald McDonald House Charities to be their charity of choice, that would be wonderful. It all helps, like kind of what we talked about, that collective lift. If we all do a little bit, it really truly adds up, from the pull tab collection to a third-party fundraiser. We also have wish list items. So we talked about all of those things that we want to make available to our families free of charge. You know, Jenni talked about the fact that we feel like we know what you need before you know, but we need all those things: toothbrush, toothpaste, laundry detergent, and all of that is on our website. So our wish list is out there, so that's another way that you can connect. We're on Amazon, so you can even just choose. We have our wish list on Amazon. You can choose the items. It comes right to the house. That's been an amazing addition too. But there's so many ways. There's always something to do. And there's always a need. So the community has always been amazing as well.
I would love to thank you, Jenni, Julie, Rita, and Teresa, for being here and sharing your knowledge and your information. I've been Tiana Brown. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a beautiful day.